Ali has a hard-on for Tony Ferguson, who is the manager of Beneil, the manager of Khabib, the manager of Islam. He's got this thing where he sees right now that Tony is willing to go ahead and continue fighting all of his guys, and Ali is going to try to make it a stepping stone. He's going to try to build off of Tony's career, all of his guys, and he has Beneil right now in that position to do that.
Well, right now, if you're looking at Beneil and what he's been able to do lately, his stand-up has gotten so much better. I'm telling you, Beneil used to come to grappling tournaments at my gym and compete, and his grappling is so good now. And just take a look at the last, complement of 5 fights that he's had. Well, I think he's on a 6-fight win streak. His last loss was to Alexander Hernandez, but he's on a roll. He looked unbelievably good against Scott Holtzman. I thought that his fight with Diego was a good fight. It was a tight fight. It was close. It was a split decision victory, but I thought he did win it. But he also had that war with Drakkar Klose where, they were just going crazy, and then he knocked Klose out. He's just looked good. And right now, I never think that Beneil's that fast of a fighter, but I think he's faster than Tony. And Tony's going to have to really be able to put pressure on him. It's not that Tony can't win that fight. He can, but he's not a favorite in it. I don't think he's a sizable favorite. He may end up being a small favorite, but it's not going to be big. It's if you're Ali and you're looking at trying to push your guy over the top by using someone else's name, he got a great matchup for Beneil.
Yeah. Look, what you guys, you guys come to our podcast for this type of information. The bottom line is Tony Ferguson with 2 losses is not the same Tony Ferguson that beat my ass. No. He's not mentally the same person. So to sit here and say that he is and that Tony, no, it's not. The thing is, you have to understand, after 2 losses, you start questioning everything that you're doing. You see Tony now at Wildcard working with Freddie Roach. Yeah. You see Tony at his gym now posting videos of him grappling and training with like top-level jiu-jitsu guys. You see him changing everything that he's doing because he has doubts.
Which is all good.
It is all good, but is it though, John? It is good, but here's the thing. You cannot change who you are in one fight camp. You can't, just because you're bringing in more people or just because you're working new things, it's not going to all happen in one fight camp. And this is the problem what fighters do as they get older in their career. They start trying to make changes thinking that it's going to be better. It's not. It's not that the changes need to be made. It's that you're older. And you can't change that. The speed is not the same. The ability to take damage is not the same. All those things are not the same. And it happens to everyone. And look, I'm not saying
Father Time's a motherfucker.
And I'm not saying he can't beat Dariush. I'm not saying that at all.
No, he can.
What I'm saying is that 2 losses in a row against very, very tough guys. There's no doubt. These guys are 2 of the best in the world.
Yeah, but let's be honest. That's 8 rounds that he fought. He didn't win 1.
Yeah. And it was bad. It was bad. Yeah, it didn't look good. It just, that amount of damage, and now you're fighting somebody who's just on a roll. His confidence is here. Your confidence is not there. We talk about this sport is always about what? Confidence, John.
Confidence
we know
is key, baby.
It's
confidence
key in
is
this.
key.
It's key in any sport, but it's most important in this sport. That's the most important thing I feel like in this sport is confidence. If your confidence is not at the highest, you will never get to the top level. Tony never lacks confidence, I don't think. Okay? That's not his problem. But the thing is, you start thinking and doubting a little bit, with 2 losses of people that you think you could have beat or you should have beat. You have the potential to beat because you were on a 13 or 14 fight win streak. That's gone now. You start doubting everything. And the reason why when you start doubting, you start changing what you're doing. And then that affects how you actually fight.
I don't care who you are. I don't care what you have done, what you've accomplished. Every human being has doubts. Yeah. But the more that you go through what you do and you are successful, the easier it is for you to go and do it the next time based upon that success. And when that success has stopped and now you've had failure, which every human being is going to have failure, but you have failure, you've got to be able to look and take that failure and say, okay, what occurred? How do I make sure that doesn't happen again? What do I need to do to change to make myself the person that can deal with what just happened? That's the real question. That's why I do like what I'm seeing out of Tony with he's starting to train. He was training a lot on his own. He was bringing in just a couple of guys doing his own little thing. And anytime that you're training yourself, not a good situation.
Yeah.
You're not seeing things the same as the coach is going to see. You're not seeing little things that you're starting to get lax in, little flaws in your technique and your style. So I love the fact that he is at least working out at Wild Card and getting some, advice on his stand up, on his hands, a little bit different. He's great with coming in with his elbows. I'm not saying that, please do not become a boxer.
No,
because that is definitely not going to work for you. But little tiny things in technique might be a difference maker as he moves forward. So that's a good thing. And then with the ground, when you get put in positions like he did with Charles Oliveira, when you believe that cannot happen, I don't care how good someone is on the ground. I'm really good on the ground, and they're not going to be able to just mount me and do these things. And then it happens. It's telling you again, I may not be at the level I thought I was, and there's guys that are ahead of me in that level. I need to learn more. That's a good thing. I'm glad he's doing that. So he's going to find out that Beneil in the stand-up, he's got it going right now. He understands his length. He understands when he's sliding his feet in so he can, do his damage and where he wants to go to exit out. And then on the ground, he's good, man. He is really good. I think that Tony has an advantage in the wrestling category, but not that much now. Beneil's good with his wrestling. So this is going to be a tight fight. It's close.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to how Tony uses his front kick to keep the distance in the range. Beneil's going to walk forward. Tony's going to have to use that front kick to keep him at bay. Stay long with the punching. And when they get in close, Tony's nasty with his elbow. He's got to stay on top of that. Beneil leaves himself out of position all the time. Okay.
Bingo.
And so when he reaches in something and Tony can make him miss and counter with an elbow,
make him pay.
Yeah, make him pay every single time. Tony has all the ability. There's never been a doubt about that. And look, and I'm not saying that it's not good he's not working with Freddie Roach. It's not good. I'm not saying that it's not good that he's working with new people. What I'm saying is sometimes when older fighters or any fighter that has ran out of success, that is having problems with doing what they've always done and not working, they train with someone new, and then when they get in the cage or they get into the boxing ring, all of a sudden they're thinking too much and they're not the same fighter.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. Do I think it's good? Yeah, of course it's good. But I just don't want him to go out there and change who he is. And you just said that a second ago. You can't change who Tony Ferguson is. He's got to still stay on top of what he's doing. But that's the great thing about dealing with guys like Tony and any guy who's been in the sport for this long. A coach like Freddie Roach, all he's got to do is tell him one or two little things, and that'll make a huge difference.
Yeah.
As long as Tony can implement it, which most guys at his level can. All you have to do is say tweak here, tweak there, and it makes a big difference. But what happens with some coaches, right? You get a star kind of MMA guy or star boxer, and they start trying to change all this shit. No, now that fighter needs to go out there and think. No, for 20 years or for 15 years, Tony hasn't really been thinking because it came natural to him. Now you're going to go out there and change it and make him think. That's not how Tony fights. Tony fights off of instinct. He doesn't go out there and think about it. He just does it. And it goes, if you guys don't think that, you guys are foolish. Think about the things you guys watch him do. He doesn't I took him down. He rolled right into a full roll, came back out onto his feet. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not taking you any down anymore. That's just instinct to him. He drilled it. He did it a couple times. He just lets the fight happen, and you can't change that. You can't change that type of fighter. And so I just don't want him to overthink it. I think he's got all the abilities to go ahead and beat Dariush. It's going to be a good fight, but we had talked about this fight potentially happening and how good of a fight it would be because they both are a little bit taller, a little bit longer, 5'10", 6 foot, 155. They're 31, 37 years old. The reach is, I don't see it in there. But anyways, yeah, but regardless, they look like they have about the same body frames. I give Dariush a little bit thickerness and Tony probably a little bit longer and lankier.